Bit of an update from the last video. Dumpy needed all of his hoses replacing, so we got that done. That cost us about $400. Then thanks to the lads at Classic Machinery Network, we worked out that Dumpy is a Winget 440E. It does work. He works quite well. It's been quite useful in the garden, and best powered wheelbarrow I've ever had. We do have a little bit of a problem with it though. It leaks oil like a sieve, and there's a lot of black smoke under load, so when you give it the beans it smokes like a chimney. So we're going to try and fix the oil leaks, and we've ordered a bunch of parts from stationary engine parts on the interwebs, and used a bit of Google as well for eBay. We've got a new old stock exhaust, new stock genuine parts for a couple of oil filters. This is found on eBay. This is a genuine AC Delco fuel filter, and from stationary engine parts, top end rebuild gasket set. Alright, so here we are, heads are off Dumpy, and this has turned into one of them jobs where you kind of start thinking to yourself, I wish I hadn't have started this. Although at the same time I'm glad I did, because this is one of the sealing rings from cylinder number 2. Dumpy had a blown head gasket, would you believe? So there we are. But anyway, there's all new shims and seals and that in the kit we got from Tinternet. I wonder if you can tell if this thing didn't really get looked after too much. This is literally an inch thick of crap, oil laden layers and layers of disgusting crap. So it is possible to conclude that Dumpy didn't have much love in his previous lives. So anyway, got to the point now where I've got pretty much everything off. The heads are off. You can see the cylinders and the pistons, giving it a little bit of a tickle. I don't know if you'll be able to see that or not, but it does say here standard, so cylinder number 2 at least is standard bore. Doesn't seem to be too much damage from that blowing gasket. Cylinder number 1 I haven't done anything with really yet, but suffice to say, there's just heaps and heaps and heaps of leaked oil and dust that's just caked. So I was hoping it was just going to be a simple head gasket swap, and to be honest with you, it's really easy to take apart. There's nothing to worry about. It's all air cooled, so there's no water, there's no real complicated stuff to worry about. But anyway, it's filthy, and I've got this sneaking suspicion it's going to need a good clean. I don't want to do a full strip, so what I'm hoping now is that I'll be able to use the oil sump outlet, clean it as best I can, and then just give it a really good rinsing out. Spray a load of old diesel fuel in there and rinse as much crap out as I can before we put it back together. Gasket kit's great though, it's got all the gaskets in it. Most of the gaskets were shot crap or been bogged up with silicone. So I think what I'm going to have to do now is crack the little end caps, or the big end caps even, and pull the piston out with the cylinder, and then do a full clean up of the cylinders, gap the pistons, make sure they're all good, make sure it's not too badly worn. I know there is a lot of blow by on this engine, but cylinder number 2 at least does look alright. Every time I turn it over, it tries to pop cylinder number 1 up. There's a bit of a gap around the piston down there, but should be alright. Anyway, just keep wiping the crap off and see how we go. Hope the missus doesn't notice I've got her tea towel. I just have to pop that through the wash and send it back to the kitchen. So this has ended up being a little bit more of a mission than anticipated. The amount of crap and crud that was right in between the cylinders. It was just incredible, and the whole block, it was just, there was nothing I could do, it just, anyway. So now I've got a block full of crap. All the missus has gone shopping. I've put all the parts from the engine that I haven't removed in the dishwasher, so hopefully they'll come out nice and clean. Now I just need a wet vac to get all the crap out of the bottom of the sump. While the missus is out, I'll probably just go and get the one out of the kitchen and give it a zap. So anyway, not too bad for something that's 40 years old, I've got to say. Have a look at the bits when they're clean. Got some lead wire, aka soft solder, on the heads to get the heads up, and we're going to put them back on now, tighten them down, measure the thickness of the wire, and then shim accordingly. This is the other end of town. We've got the cylinders and pistons back in. We've got the gasket or the sealing ring on the top of the cylinder there where it should be. So we'll just drop the heads on now quickly, spin her over, measure the thickness of the lead, and then gap each cylinder according to the tolerance that we require. So I think this will be the last bit of the job for today now. So I've been pushing on a bit. It's pretty much back together now. Heads are on, valve clearance is set, injectors are in, it's all plumbed back up again. Nothing's tight in the fuel rail yet, and I haven't got fuel in it yet. I'm just going to put the rocker covers on and set the decompression. I can't turn it over. It's got heaps more compression now than it had previously. So we'll see how we get on with the decompression, and we'll get some fuel bled into it and see what happens. So I'll be back in a bit. Okay, so I think we're getting close to starting now. I've adjusted the decompression levers according to the instructions. Everything's all on apart from this remaining side plate. I've bled the fuel through. I've just turned it over by hand a few times to get some oil pressure and to make sure the injectors have got fuel, and they've just started to squeak. Their little injector squeak, so I think we're ready to give it a start. So I'll just try and start it and see if it goes. I'll put the camera on the side and we'll see what happens. Might be a bit of air in the system still. Looking at the smoke that's coming out the exhaust now, it's not thick black smoke anymore, it's more white smoke. I think there's still some adjustment needed on the injectors, but I think that'll be a project for another day. When the engine revs here in a second, you'll just see the governor pushing back against the injector pumps. So there it goes. Call that a win, I reckon. Right, get that plate on, finish the last few jobs off, we'll call it quits.